In this section of the tutorial, I just want to quickly touch on the Photoshop action Atmos by for Art. That'll make it easier for you to use adjustment layers for the overlays, and it'll also help you edit faster. Here on the right hand side, we have the Atmos 3 overlays, the glass and crystal elements. And I just want to quickly show you how I use them on my photos. I mainly use them for portraits, for automotive photography, but you can really get creative with them and use them in any kind of photo. Okay, let's get started and use some, which one are we gonna use? Let's see, Glass 48. Drag and drop it into Photoshop. Hit enter, and now we're gonna play the action. After you've installed the Photoshop action, you'll find it here in the actions panel, and you just open this folder right here, click on the action and click the play button, and that's it. And then you can see here it automatically applies a layer mask, a smart filter with a Gaussian blur filter, and 3 adjustment layers with curves, hue, saturation, and a photo filter. So the first thing we want to do is position our overlay layer, our glass layer, so it looks, kind of cool. So the light is coming from back there, but we use mirrors to illuminate his face. So I want to place a light source right here in the lower right corner of the photo. So we're going to do that, and I think this looks pretty cool already. We're going to hit enter, and now you can see the overall blue tones in this photo are greenish, bluish, very muted, and the blues in the overlays is more on the purple side, so we want to fix that and go into the hue and saturation, use the hue slider and slide a bit to the left and get the cyan green tones. The difference is very subtle, but I think it just blends in way nicer when all tones are the same. Okay, this looks really cool already. One thing that I would do is, you can see here the overlay kind of washes out his face. So we want to go into the layer mask and use a black brush. I have the opacity set to 40%. Let's just brush over his face and remove a bit of the overlays so the face is not washed out. And as you can see here, that already looks a lot better. And yeah, this is just one instance how I use the glass and crystal overlays. Of course, as a quick reminder, all overlays are available as brushes as well, so you'll find them all here after you've installed them. But for the glass and crystal overlays or elements, I prefer to use the overlays instead because they just have more details in them that you can't replicate with the brushes. Next photo we're going to look at is from a recent shoot for BMW. The photo itself came out really well, but it's kind of, you can see the colors, it's very muted. You can see the light is coming from the left, popping through the trees a little bit and hitting the road. I just want to highlight that a little more. So for this one, we're going to use Glass 53, I think looks great. Same procedure as before, we're going to use the Photoshop action and reposition it. Let's give it a good stretch and place it somewhere here. And you can maybe already see where I'm going with this, or what I want to achieve here. And I think this looks really good. Again, since the car is our main object here in this photo, we don't want the overlay to cover it up too much, so we're gonna go use the layer mask and brush over the car a little bit with our black brush so it stands out a little more. You can see that again, the color of the overlay is very cool toned, kind of purple, and the image here is very orange on the side. The light here hitting the road is very orange, so we want to adjust our overlay accordingly. This time we're going to first use the photo filter and drag the slider to the right and adjust it a little bit. You can see here that it already has a cool effect. And then I want to use the hue slider a little more. Or actually what we're going to do now, we're going to use the colorize function of the hue saturation filter. That'll color it uniformly everywhere in one specific color that you can choose here on the hue slider. So let's just see which color works best, and I think we're going to go for some kind of yellow orange that blends nicely with the original photo. Let's see what the adjustment layers do here in this case. And I think the result is amazing. This is exactly what I wanted. In most cases, you don't want the sunlight to hit the lens from the side, but here I really wanted it. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. So I just thought I would just do it in post. And I think the result is amazing. I really like this one a lot. The third and last photo we're going to look at is a portrait of my friend Leo that I shot in Indonesia. And again, it was shot in front of the waterfall, and while we were shooting, I had high hopes for some water drops to hit the lens so we could get some cool effects. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. What a surprise. So we want to replicate that in post, and we're going to do that by using glass. Let me see which one we could use here. Glass 4 is cool. All right. Same thing. We're going to use the Photoshop action. We're going to reposition it. Like this. I want to remove the overlay here from his face because it's kind of distracting. And then again, we have some purple tones in here that I want to get rid of, because you can see the original image has very moody blue tones, more on the green side, and we want to have that as well for the overlay. Very easy. We're going to go into the hue saturation adjustment layer, use the hue slider, and slide it a little bit to the left. And you can see here, that's all we need to do. Let's use a bit less green. And I think that's an amazing result. All right, that's it for the tutorial. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it useful. Happy editing.